What's up, everybody? What's up? It's the Mr. Trade Fact Show. I just got one question for y'all. Y'all tired of winning yet? I thought that's all he did was win. Now, some people are going to, I guess Trumpers, are going to say that there was a win today with Benjamin Netanyahu coming and talking to Trump and basically bending the knee. Well, not trying to disrespect the trade we have with them, but they ain't even near the top 10 on who we trade with. They're not even the top 20 that we trade with. It's like going to the minor leagues and telling them you won a game. It's like, who cares? You're not in the major leagues. You're minor. I mean, the rest of the world's going to listen to the minor leagues? Especially a minor league that needs America because they're in an unjust war to begin with. That's the person that you want everybody to come running for because Benjamin Netanyahu capitulated. Israel, as far as trade with us, United States, they're number 22, right below Australia, right above Saudi Arabia. And they want the markets to move because Israel did what he did. Our number one trade is Canada. Our number two, Mexico. Our number three, China. Our number four, Japan. Our number five, Germany. Our number six, South Korea. Our number seven, United Kingdom. 8, France. 9, India. 10, Taiwan. Now ask yourself a quick question. What has happened in the past few days that he's done this? It has been China, South Korea, right? And Japan. And some have mentioned Taiwan, who have come together to actually work something out to basically say, fuck America. Have they not? All three of those are in the top 10 of the people we trade with. So these people are coming together to trade, to come up with trade deals. We don't know what's going to pan out of this, but neither does Trump. They're betting with our lives. They're betting. On top of that, China owns a large portion of our debt. If they called on it, we're in trouble. How are you going to try and put pressure on somebody who got you by the jugular? How? Trade shy, I guess. We have the biggest trade market in the world, correct? What's that got to do with anything? What's that got to do with anything? America chose in 1994 the NAFTA bill, right? They chose that. They got together with the billionaires, lied to the American people, told you was going to get jobs and everything was going to turn out grand for you. Told you that they were going to bring all kinds of industries to America and make America even, better than it was before without these industries, these manufacturing. You don't need it. Now, after these other countries have decided, you know what? They did kind of fuck us a little bit. America fucked us by bringing all this stuff over here. We had to hire people for like a penny a fucking hour, and America's made a shit ton of money off of us in the process. They charge us $300 for the fucking product. They get it from them for like $30. So we have gotten juiced just for the product itself. Then they open it up with like Alibaba and so forth that Americans can buy these same products damn near the same cost as the warehouses buying it. So now all of a sudden you're starting to see the dwindling of the wealth of how billionaires in this country have made money. We've been forced out many years ago to be able to buy directly from China and other places for the cheap. So now they're trying to close that down so that we have to buy these exorbitant price shits from America, and we can't get it from other countries. So when you talk about us being the biggest trade, all they're trying to do is taking Americans from getting that shit cheap, so that we have to buy it from our own people at a high rate. Every time these billionaires come together, it is always to fuck the American. It's never to benefit us. People have this idea that trade's going to come back here or manufacturing is going to come back here and we're going to be all the better for it. We're going to go over some stuff with Howard Lutnick, his interview with Face the Nation. You're talking about we have all this power with trade. Then why are we bitching and moaning about shit then? Why is it that Donald Trump came up with the last trade deal? He liked it, thought it was the best trade deal ever, and then now he's talking about really it wasn't the best trade. What country wants to deal with somebody every freaking 4 years? They want to renegotiate something that's supposed to last for 10 or 20 years. They're going to renegotiate it every 5 fucking minutes. Since he came into office, we've lost $11 trillion. In the last 2 days, it's been 6.6. And then today we lost another 950 billion. We're going to play games with everybody's 401k because he wants to bring back this idea. See, this is a problem. This is the problem, America. Too many of the people in here have listened to their moms and grandmas and people my age talking about when factories were here, we had good jobs. That shit ain't coming back. It ain't coming back, ladies and gentlemen. And if it does, listen to Howard Lutnick. It would be computers. You know what it's going to look? I'm going to paint a picture of what this shit, you guys, the ones who are for this shit, I'm going to paint a picture of what the fuck is really going to happen. You got all these dreams of grandeur that these manufacturers will come back and we're going to get back to the point where we have, you know, one person can work and a family can have a house and 2 cars and 2 kids and a picket fucking fence. I'm going to tell you the facts about what the fuck they're trying to do with you. They're even saying it in front of your face, but you're not paying attention. Howard Lutnick literally said, robots are going to be doing the jobs. But then we're going to have some qualified jobs that, no. Robots are going to be doing your fucking jobs. They're talking about bringing back, think about it. Bring some manufacturers back here. You think the other country's going to stop manufacturing the products too? Is that your thought process? Oh, bring the factory back here. Okay, bring the manufacturing for shoes, bring the manufacturing for cars, bring the manufacturing for whatever the hell, right? You literally think that China doesn't already have vehicles? China doesn't already have clothing? People coming from every other country, you think they don't already have that? And on top of that, you think they don't already have it at a cheaper rate? They can pay their people $3 to do what it's going to take us $350 to do. Why? Because you're going to have to pay people a lot of money. Ain't nobody going to no damn factory working for no $3, $5, $7, $12 and shit. Ain't nobody doing that shit. When America let go of these factories back in the 90s because they were greedy and wanted everybody else to do the slave labor, that shit's gone. It ain't never coming back. The idea of it coming back is dreams. People were like, oh, no, it ain't even going to be union jobs. It's going to be robotic jobs. They've already said it. I don't know how many times people got to not listen to this. They already said robotic jobs. They're going to be doing everything from tightening the nuts and bolts to doing all the other jobs. Here's the thing what trips me out is when Democrats, like Obama said back in the day, 2008, something like that, we have to become the leaders in manufacturing things that are future forward. Different things, we got to start creating things that everybody's going to need. Energy, different other things like that, wind, all that. We got to learn how to get that technology, future technologies, and therefore we can have that, right? We already had the industrialization age when everything was just, everybody did it by hand. Then all of a sudden they got the machines to be able to build 2 and 3 cars at a time or hold it. We already went through that shit. Why are we going back to something? If you ain't trying to reinvent that, what the hell are you bringing it back for? Robotics? Tesla has that. Those bitches are falling apart. Teslas are expensive, except for little smaller cars, but they're expensive. You really think you're going to be buying a Toyota for $65,000? A Corolla? Hell no. Is it too loud? Sorry, I'll bring it down. Can you hear me now? My bad. It's kind of loud. That way it'd be better for me. Can you hear it now? Is it better? For some reason my audio is tweaked up a little bit because I ain't speaking any louder than I normally do. Is it better now? Can you hear me now? I'm sorry to be so loud. Very static. Thank you for letting me know. I want to know if it's better now. I'm going to keep testing it. Better now, better now. Thank you, File on Fire. I'm going to take it and push it back. Better now, better now, better now. That's weird. Something's up with this machine, with my mixer, because you hear me better now? Perfect. All right, cool. Sorry about that. Thank you for letting me know, because I went the whole damn show doing that. But for some reason, it's very sensitive. So I don't know. I got to fix it or clean it or something, whatever it may be. It wasn't loud. It sounds like your gains are up. Yeah, my gains are the same. I never touch them. It's just something that's freaked out with it, that it's actually higher for some reason now. And I don't know why, but I have to fix it later. But I just pushed the mic back, brought my gains completely down. I'm like near zero, and it's still doing better. So we'll figure it out. But thank you, Save Wit. I appreciate you. Thank you, everybody. Let's see if I can get back to where I was talking about. But when you talk about what, none of that stuff is coming back to America. We have to be realistic. We have to be future forward. And that's just it. You got Howard Lutnick out here talking about, and one thing I don't like, about sometimes the media takes a clip and don't tell you the whole story. Like Howard Lutnick was talking about nuts and bolts and different things like that. And the media, mainstream media, changed what he really meant by that. I had to go watch that full video. And he wasn't saying that those are the jobs that's going to come back here and Americans are going to be doing them. He said those are the jobs that are going to be coming back here that the robots are going to be doing. See, if you listen to what they're saying, they're literally saying they want to bring back these jobs in which they pay little overseas, bring them back over here and have the robots do them for cheaper than human beings can do them from over there, right? So if China is paying, I don't know, $8 an hour to do it, well, they want to bring that industry back here and say, all you're doing is, putting bolts into an iPhone. That's pretty much what you're doing. Oh, okay, we can buy robots and do it for pennies on a dollar. And therefore we have manufacturing here and we'll start making them for a little bit of cheap and we can compete. But here's the problem. If you can do that, China's already ahead of you. If you really think you can bring it back here and be able to do exactly that in 5 to 10 years, they're already ahead of you. So once you get it built, who's to say they're going to come to you? How can you be competitive in something that they already a good light year ahead of you? It makes no sense. This stuff, it's like it was zero thought. And the way they get you guys so excited, not just you, I'm talking about the American people excited, is they make you think America's going back to the way it was, like they're doing the industrial age again. It's not happening. It's not. I don't know about any human being. In here or in the United States, period, that wants to pay $350 for something that used to cost $100. Nobody wants to do that. And with the government and with things already open, think about it. Think about like things like Temu, or how you say Shein or Shein. I never buy from it. Shein or something like that. And then Alibaba, I can literally get this right here. I keep on saying this newer stuff like I'm promoting it or something like that. I'm not, but it's just something in front of me. I can get this for like $65 on like a Temu or, whatever, and get it straight from Alibaba. I can get 10 of them, you know what I'm saying? Not for 65, but I can get 10 of them for probably like $45 each, and then sell them here for 99 or 120. If I have access to that, why the hell would I buy something from America that they're building here for buy that same thing for $250 when I can just go online to Alibaba and get it for 100, even with tariffs? Even with tariffs, they're selling them for like $45. With tariffs, I'll pay $65, $75. It's still less than $250. It makes no sense. It really doesn't. And the only way it makes sense to the American people is that you aren't really, not you, but a lot of Americans are not hip to how business works. They're not hip to why it costs less in China or Japan or Mexico or Canada. They're not hip to that, right? And the amount of money, again, as us being the consumers, like the person said before, us being the major consumers of this country, right? That means we're willing to buy stuff, a lot of things. We're buyers, not makers. We used to be makers, manufacturers. That was our stronghold until greedy billionaires decided, how can we make more money? Oh, get rid of union jobs. Send it overseas and pay slave wages. And they thought, and here's a gamble, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the gamble. They thought, this is Republican and Democrat alike, billionaires, they thought that they could send it overseas. And they send it over to China, Canada, Mexico. And that when they sent it over there, they're going to pay them little money. And when they paid them this little money for the product, and then we came here and sold it for like 10 times, 100 times, 500 times more than it's worth, that we would get so much wealthier and we would have so much power that these other countries would capitulate to us. They had no foresight to think that if we're going to buy it from them, and we're going to get it at this rate, then won't they just become an industrialized, like, manufacturing country because they're getting all this money, and therefore they would go and get everybody's work for technology. So as we grew as a service industry, you know what I'm saying, we started doing apps and things of that nature, right? Well, overseas, they caught on to that too, and they started building these apps too. So they had a tech boom as well. As you can see, we have ChatGPT, and then they came out with DeepSeek, which was better than ChatGPT and done in a fraction of the amount of time and absolutely free. And that was a heat check for America to say, you thought you had us, but you didn't. You thought we just did manufacturing, huh? Nah, bruh. We did it all. And not only that, we're ahead of y'all in most technology. You thought you was going to put us in just manufacturing shit and that we was just going to be a slave to you, America. You was doing all this stuff and now we're going to be a slave to you about it. But no, all that technology you guys created, y'all needed those resources to get that technology built. So as you was providing the services, we were providing batteries, we were providing technology behind it, we were providing you the lenses. So all these phones that you make, you would just have a fucking shell and something else, nothing else. Apple, you can't make an Apple unless you go to China and other countries. So as America put itself in this position on purpose, because they were greedy as fuck, they created powers that they didn't foresee. They didn't see giving them all this power by owning everything, or at least stealing a lot of our trademarks. They sent it overseas, and China started making everything we created and sent over there to be cheap. They made mock-ups of that shit. Everything, every clothing brand has another Chinese brand that's exact same material, everything, but has another person's name on it in China, and selling it to other countries. Oh, you want that Marc Jacobs? You know, we got Marc Jacobs. And here it is right here, exact same product, exact same design, just the name is different. Oh, America's charging $80,000 for that bag. Oh, we charge you $300. We straight. And our patent and the products itself, the damn thing probably costs $100 to make. They sell them for $80,000 here. So you didn't think, America, that they were going to do that? You literally thought that you was going to take them, and China turned around and said, fuck you, we got you. And now we're going to sit here and be like, well, no, you tried to sucker them. They turned around and stuck it to you. They're mad because them trying to fuck them over didn't work. It did for a while until they caught on. Hell, Mexico was going broke with us at the very beginning of NAFTA. They're like, nah, we gotta renegotiate because We're not making money, we're losing money. So they had to kind of like renegotiate right after NAFTA in 1994 is when it happened. So a few years later, they realized all these parts they're making, they're losing money. Their people wasn't making any money. And America knew that was going to happen until Mexico was like wanting to get out. We renegotiated with them and things got better for Mexico. And they stayed in the deal for a long time. But again, you got to understand, don't think America got juiced out of anything. America benefited largely. It was their game plan to no longer have manufacturing. Why? Because they wanted to get rid of union jobs. They were trying their best to mess over the American people. These billionaires didn't care about you then. They don't care about you now. They gaslight you to get what they want. Their goal is to bring back manufacturing, stick it to Japan, to China, and other countries too, but specifically China, stick it to them so that they can lessen their power. They want to bring all this stuff down. I've been hearing different narratives, even coming out of the White House, saying that they're trying to do this so they can lower the interest rates so that we can have a better interest rate out of the 30-something trillion that we owe. Because supposedly there's some kind of balloon payment of 20 trillion that we're going to end up owing coming up. I don't know how long from now, but it's going to be coming up. And they're trying to lower the rates. So that's where they're trying to tank the market so that they can lower interest rates. I'm like, are y'all playing games? While you're doing that, American citizens are going from having, just a little in their 401k, but they felt good about waking up and seeing 40,000, 50,000 in there. Even if they ain't got a lot, 50,000 is some good money for people who are poor, right? It's on your way to something. And then to wake up and you got damn near zero in it in 2 days. It's always the poor middle class gets sacrificed for these rich people playing games. You had Dave Portnoy coming out saying, I lost $7 million in 1 day. Then I just recently saw he had another video saying that he went massively viral with the 7 million. He said, I didn't even want to go look at it again. I'm probably down a good 14 or a good 15, $20 million now. But I'm in this thing to win it. And I'm like, okay. So you were talking about Kamala Harris and with her plan that you didn't want to do that because you wanted to bring the price of eggs down and wanted the industry to get better and the economy to get better. And it could have got better with, the interest rates and all that stuff like that was too high. All these different things that they were mentioning to say that, the economy is not the way they want it, even though it was booming. It was going up and up and up and up. And as soon as he comes in, we done lost $11 trillion in less than 90 days. He been there what? January? It's been January 21st. It's less than 90 days. He's lost $11 trillion out of our economy. And even if you're not in the market, right? Or in our stock market, even if you're not in the market, this is going to affect you and the economy. Why? Because these companies got to figure out how much they're going to charge. They're trying to weigh it out on whether this man is going to change his mind. Because remember, he's changed his mind with tariffs since he's been in office multiple times. Put on 20%, take it off. 25%, take it off. Put on some, they've been there for a while, then comes out on April Fool's Day +1, or whatever the hell it is, and come out and say, oh, look at these tariffs. We're taxing penguins. And then people are like, other countries have got to be like, they just tax penguins, yo. What the fuck is up with America? What is going on with them? They're taxing penguins. And I mean, literally brought it out like they were confident in bringing out this damn poster with BS on it. I don't know about y'all, but anybody here had the idea of, let's say, at your job, you're going to go in and say, hey, you know what? I got a great idea for sales for us, y'all. I'm telling you, I'm trying to be the sales manager. I just want to pitch it to y'all. I'm going to tell you it's going to make you a lot of money. And then you go in there and say, yeah, we need to sell over here in this part right here. McDonald, I'm telling you, is great. And then they look at you and like, it's just penguins that live, bruh. That's all that live there. What we selling? Penguins? Fucking fish? What the fuck are you talking about? We sell computer parts. What the fuck has got to do with penguins? You would literally look at that dude and be like, out. You brought me a pitch, and that's the homework you did? The research you did was a penguin place. Get the fuck out. Every last one of you who have a business know damn well that's what you would do with an employee who literally came to you talking about, come to this meeting, I'm going to tell you, bring the cameras and everything. And you're going to tell me you're going to put tariffs on these particular things, or you're going to tell me you're going to get sales for this particular company and you got penguins on it? I mean, come on, man. I don't understand how that ain't even like the major story all the damn time. They shouldn't even be talking about, they're just talking about the penguins. Talk about his mental stability. I'm like, dude, who brings out that type of shit? Something wrong with you, bruh. Something is mentally wrong with somebody who trounces out proudly with a document that has penguins on it that he's tariff. They've been fucking us over for years. Really? I don't get it, y'all. I don't get it. It makes zero sense. 0 cents for that. Thank you. I didn't get the chance to say earlier. Thank you, Five on Fire, for your donation, $10. I see you $20. I appreciate it. If Mike is very sad, thank you. It was brought up to my attention that takes 47% of your super chats. How can we support you 100% with our donations? I do have, I don't know what you have, but I have Cash App, which is Mr. Straight Facts. You can do it that way. I really haven't went deep in on that particular thing. I just been like getting out the information as much as possible, but I do have Cash App. I put them up at the end. Some people have asked me that they have Zelle, so I put them up as well as that. I can put them up right here at the bottom of the screen if you can see it. If you can't see it, let me know. The heck is that? There we go. For some reason that went to the other thing. I don't know why, but anyway, but that's where you can do it at. But yeah, I appreciate you, Five on Fire. So it's just insane that Donald Trump, his minions, are out here pushing things that everybody should be saying somebody's batshit crazy. They just blow it off now. They blow it off and just keep talking about the topics. I'm like, yo, it should be like cut off. I'm like, no, look, something's wrong with him mentally. They just let it pass. There's no other president, vice president in the entire history of America that would get away with that, and the next topic would be next. Remember, we're talking about Obama had on a tan suit. That shit ran the whole week in the news. A whole week of fucking talking about him in a tan suit. And every so often they'll bring it back up. It's like, what? It was so bad that it finally got fact checked in the news. It's like, because they were literally saying he was the only one that ever did it. He wasn't serious, blah, blah, blah. Then they fact checked it, and Reagan had a tan suit. Bush Jr. had a tan suit. Did you see that on Fox? Nah, not at all. They had to debunk this thing after they ran it for a week. But Donald Trump's out here trying to push tariffs on fucking penguins, and they bring it up ever so often. They should be on it every news cycle, be like, what is wrong? No, nobody I saw ask him that question. Maybe I missed it in any of these press conferences that they get to talk to him. Why did you put penguins on there as tariffs? I saw on Face the Nation, they literally asked him these questions, and I was like, okay, all right. It's one or two of them, and I wanted to actually share that too. We're going to watch that. But they went crazy over a tan suit. Now, with as much money that we have lost, you would think these MAGA people, of course, they're freaking out, but they're not doing it that much in public. You got, I think it's about up to at least six Republicans, I think at this point, that are trying to create this bill where they can take back the power of the purse, so to speak, right? And the problem with that, and I applaud that, don't get me wrong, I applaud that. But the problem with it is that if you know how the government works, let's say, I think those are senators, but let's just say for the hell of it, which it wouldn't happen. In the House, they got enough to pass it. All the Democrats will vote for it, I know. But let's say they got the other percentage of Republicans in the House to vote for it. Pipe dream. But let's just say it. Then it goes to the Senate, which they do have enough already that I think of. I think they got to have, yeah, all they got to do is have a majority for it to pass. So they pass it because they'll have the majority with at least those numbers that they'll have enough. So they pass it. Then it has to go to Trump to become a law. Trump's going to veto it. So all of that for nothing. Now, it can still go forward because after his veto, they have to come back and get 2/3 of the party to vote and say, we overturn his veto. So in the Senate, there'd have to be, 66? I don't know if they round it up to 67 because 2/3 would be, I think it's 100. So 2/3 would be 66.6 or something like that, or 7. So it rounds up to 67. But I don't know if it has to be 66 or not. But they say 2/3. Do they have 2/3? No, they do not. So is it performative? Or are these people really talking about doing something? Or are they just trying not lose their positions as being in office? It's a pain, ladies and gentlemen. It really is a pain to see a country that can be so much better than what it is. If it was honest with its people, whether Republican, Democrat, Independent, just be honest with the people. Be truthful about what NAFTA was about. Because we saw how it turned out, and that's what it was always about. It wasn't like, oh, it messed up. No, that's what you meant for it to do. Because you had already figured out you were going to go to technology. You was going to become a service-oriented country. But now you want to reverse it and come back to being manufacturing and doing the service. You're not going to give up that. You're just trying to dominate right now and have everybody come to you or through you. Now, the question is, does America really have that power? And who do they have to go through to actually be able to achieve that? Of course, the top 3, Canada, Mexico, and China. Now, we recently, it hasn't been anything formal, but there has been a tentative conversation between Canada and China and how they can come to us in come to Mexico and Canada through it. Well, not Mexico and China, I mean. How they can get to Mexico directly from China without crossing some borders of ours, I'm guessing, is what I saw the map. So there's conversation between Mexico and China right now. There's conversations with Canada, with China, South Korea, and Japan. 3 of the top 10. Oh, and the UK has decided too that they're going to stick it out. They're not going to be bullied by America. I'm like, again, they keep gaslighting us and telling us what they want out of this, but it ain't what they want. And here's the thing. I don't really think that America would even have a problem with what they're talking about doing if they literally told you what they were doing. The idea of bringing back industry into this country, whereas we become a power that everybody has to run through in a sense, but bringing back these jobs that aren't going to be high paying jobs. It's just the fact that we're going to have more work here. If you listen to what they say from Howard Lutnick and all them, they're talking about uneducated American citizens working these jobs. What do you think billionaires think about uneducated people? People with a high school education. What do you think? What do you think they think about them? You think they're going to be people who they think are going to have careers or just jobs? And if you are a 20-something-year-old who just got out of college, are you looking for a career or a job? So you're telling me you're bringing back a bunch of jobs, but very few careers, right? But if you just told American citizens that's going to be the deal, they might want it still. But the point is, they think you don't. That's why they're lying to you, talking about good manufacturing jobs, good paying manufacturing jobs. Really? Good paying manufacturing jobs for the uneducated or the poorly educated or the minimal educated. Nah. Like I said, pay attention to what they are doing. In many states throughout the United States, they want to have children have jobs. They've been running this since Donald Trump has run for president the second time around. Multiple states, red states, have been going and trying to get kids to be able to work even on school nights. The age of working a job being like 13 instead of 15 and a half or 16 or where it is now. Trying to take it back to young kids. Why would you want your 13-year-old working? Let them enjoy their childhood. What parent literally thinks about putting their child to work? We understand growing up, most of us, after we get to a certain age, we be like, damn, man, I wanted to be adult too early. Now I got bills and life is just... You want a 13-year-old to have a job. Well, they should be focused on education. That's why they're trying to devalue education, get rid of the education, because they're trying to put you in slave wage jobs. They're trying to turn America into these other countries who are paying shit to their people to produce said products. So in order for us to be able to compete with everybody else, we're going to have to get a core group of people we can pay trash dollars to. It's going to be the kids, because mom and dad are going to be making enough to pay the family, hopefully, to pay for food. You ain't going to be able to work at these factories. Your children will. And that's how you keep that slave labor in America. These kids don't expect to be making $20 an hour. They're children. You give them, $8 and a sucker, they'll be fine. Think about what these people are trying to do to your children. It ain't about you. They ain't giving you these jobs. Don't even get it twisted. Because again, once it comes here, the other countries are still going to be less than us. So why would another country want to come to us for, let's say, technology or to have their car built or whatever, if you can go over there and everything is still going good and it's cheaper? You're going to come here to get it for higher? They're going to have to bargain their butts up. Or you come here for the car parts higher, but we'll give you free corn. What? So that's what they're going to have to do. Negotiate the hell out of shit. But who's going to want to do that? Nobody. Everybody's going to want to make money off this stuff. Nobody's going to want to be so subsidized that they got to give this shit away. And you also think of something. Donald Trump is not a person who plans well. After all, he has concepts of insurance, an insurance plan. 9 years, it's going on a decade. He still had concepts. So you really think this plan here is really well thought out? Not by Trump, but by his minions that he had at Heritage Foundation. Yeah, Project 2025, it's all written out for him. All he had to do is agree upon it. They're doing all the work. It's his face and his quote-unquote plan, but he never wrote anything. And according to him, I don't know nothing about it. Yet you're going to follow something that you know nothing about. I mean, he might be that stupid, but still, the reality is most people aren't. So I understand, again, there are many people who are not like college educated. That's fine. That you're not that a part, not a part where you are not smart because you didn't go to college. Not everybody is suited for college. I get that. But if you're going to raise a family, you're not working no $7, $8 job in no factory. That's hard work when you can go to McDonald's and get paid more. When you can go to other companies and get paid more. And what gets me also is that this is a gig economy. You know what I mean? And it's a good thing for a lot of youngsters and people my age as well too. If you know anything about technology, you can do stuff from home and make a nice living. If you know technology, you can build, if you know Photoshop and being able to make business cards for people and different things that you can do online to make some extra money, as well as people who go out and do, the Ubers or the Uber Eats and all these other companies that do that type of thing. You can make a little extra money, or you can do it full time, make some pretty good money being you're an employee, but it's like almost an independent contractor for some of these particular industries. You can do that if you just want to. And again, that's a good thing for kids because when we were kids, it wasn't like that. The job we got was McDonald's, Burger King. If I don't know where you guys are from, but I was from Indiana. There was a thing called Burger Chef. Yeah, I dated myself. But still, there was all kinds of things like that. Now, there's so many other ways to make it. I gotta sneeze. There's so many other ways to make money now. And that's a good thing. But as far as and those things can be very lucrative uh, if you actually apply yourself and start like marketing for businesses, advertising type of things, IT, a lot of money can be made. And that's a lot different. And that's the thing about it is, and I've noticed this too. I don't think Donald Trump and those people are really thinking forward. You know what I'm saying? Because like the other, like Obama, like Biden, Kamala was talking about this too. They were forward thinking. Donald Trump is elderly. He's thinking about what it was like in the 40s and 50s and 60s and shit like that. What his dad told him and all the factory and all, and looking back in history, trying to, relive that. That's not coming back. And so when they talk about doing things that are forward, think about this for a second. They're going to talk about bringing back industry, like manufacturing. Ask any one of your children, any one of them, I don't care what age they are, would they go work in a factory building parts over and over and over and over again? Would they do that? The young ones, some of your youngest ones, also the ones who just got out of high school or going to college, would you want to do that? I guarantee you, when a kid today can go play video games and make $1 million doing it, just got the thumbs and fingers and everything working, making $1 million a year while somebody watched them play a game, do you really think these kids want to go back to all day? All day? No. These kids don't even want to get out of bed. They'd rather work, video gaming, stuff like that, all night till like wee hours in the morning and make their money playing games all night. Come out with 3-4 grand a night, go to sleep, wake up all day and do nothing. That's the future. Whether you like it or not, that's the future. This idea, again, Donald Trump and his minions, they're too old thought processes. Their processes are like geriatric. When a kid can make that kind of money online, do you really think they're going to go and work in a factory? And people my age, and damn sure not his age, Trump being, but people my age and a little bit younger, 40s, you really think they want to do that? No. So why are we going after something that most Americans will not go after? That's like saying that getting rid of these people from Venezuela, Latin brothers and sisters, that somehow you're going to replace those jobs with whom? I ain't picking nothing. My kids ain't picking nothing. Even if my kids said they wanted to go, Dad, I go, but fuck if you will. You're not picking shit for nobody. That shit's gone. I won't even allow my kids to do it. And they grown. I still wouldn't allow it. So who are you gonna get to do that? They didn't think that shit through. Farmers losing all kind of money. And come on, Five Alarm Fire. I worked at multiple factories when I was a kid. Well, I'm from Indiana, so there's one called Pentec Corporation. That's where my uncle worked, who passed away many years ago when I was 18. But he helped me get a job there when I was in high school. He got me, I was, driving a forklift at 18 years old. I was 17 actually. I was 17 years old driving one of these forklifts at the job. We painted everything. We built metal, we did metals and all stuff like that. Pentec. I worked at Wonder Bread. I worked at a bunch of different factories. Those types of factories are not going to be something that kids want. Now, don't get me wrong. Depending on the state you're from, back in the day when I was a kid, those factories paid well, more than any other job, because those were the industries that kind of drove the state, right? These jobs would have to be well-paying jobs. I mean, being able to live off of. You can't be going to McDonald's making more. So if you brought these factories back and were paying people $35, $40 an hour, and it was union, and they were guaranteed a good 40 and not 32, where they got to pay for their own insurance and all that shit like that, you will get middle, 20, 30-some-year-old people getting those jobs if they were promising. But they know they can't do that to compete. Paying somebody $30, $40 to do these jobs, somewhat of a living wage, so they can have a family, raise their family, have a nice car or two in a house and all that, the American dream, that shit ain't coming back like that. But you know what? The newer technology it will. If you're teaching your kids how to program, if you're putting your kids in things that are teaching them how to problem solve, because as long as we are alive, there is a problem to solve. And if you're teaching your kids how to solve problems, they can live well throughout their lives. Why? Because all they got to do is provide a service for the problem. Somebody will pay to fix something that takes too long to fix on their own. That's why when I was building and fixing computers, I was making a lot of money. Why? Because everybody was fucking up their computer. You'd be amazed at how many people in this world still, their main thing is turning a computer on and turning it off. What is this software? How do you load this? Don't know. Willing to pay a lot of money to do so. And don't let it be a business. Oh, it's ridiculous. I helped put in a system for a business. It's like 10 grand. Something I could have done for myself that I built for $500, but 10 grand because they had no idea and they didn't want to have nothing to do with it. They want to do their job where they made more than 10 grand a day. So they're like, you go take care of that. So there's a way to make money that you don't have to be at no factory. And if your kids, they don't have to have a college education to have a trade. What I just told you about fixing computers, that shit you can go online and learn. Shit, you can YouTube your way into $70,000 a year. Just teach yourself on YouTube and you're booming. That's the beautiful thing of today. A lot of people don't want to do that. They just want to get hired and move up. That's fine. But the reality is that's not going to be our future. And the longer we keep holding on to the past, that's why these countries like Canada, Mexico, especially China and Japan are passing us up by leaps and bounds, because they, first of all, they're not paying their people like we pay people here. So they can get people to do it for cheaper. Their cost of living, not necessarily like Europe and also like that, that's kind of high. But some of these places, the cost of living is so much cheaper than us. I remember a friend of mine, this was years ago, so I don't know what it's like now. was going to China every once in a while and staying at these really nice spots and would send me pictures and like, oh, I spent $400 just this entire time I was here. And it was, in this one place, I think it was there for like a few days, but it has so many amenities. And I'm like, say what? How much? That's something like that was in America would have been $800 a night. And this was years ago, but I don't know what it's like now, like I said. But they can do that because it's different, right, than here. But you know what? It'll shift once if our dollar gets replaced with bricks, I shit ain't going nowhere. It costs a lot of what we got to be able to purchase their stuff. So we don't want to ever go back there, especially if you're trying to be America forward. But like I said, in order to be number one again in the things that we're talking about, because this is what they're actually acting like we're not number one anymore. In many ways, we're not. We're number one in consuming. We buy everything, but we don't make anything. But if we want to do that, invent new technologies. Don't send them overseas to be built. Build them here. And then you can charge whatever you want to other countries if they need such technology. But here's the thing. If you've noticed, America, our billionaires have failed us. They've always wanted to build fast, break things, build it cheap, basically lazy billionaires. And then over in China and Japan, these are the hard-working billionaires. Mexico too, hard-working billionaires. They're not trying to skimp and everything like that. They're just not paying anybody worth a damn. But the product itself, I'll give you one example. I used to start, when I was doing computers and fixing computers and things of that nature and technology for people, this is one of the things that I noticed about America even back then. It's been over a decade, probably 15 years ago. Probably more than that, to be honest. But I remember like when the iPhone was a big thing when it first came out. I think it was like, I don't remember if there was any other iPhone other than iPhone 4, I think it was. But I remember when the iPhone, like one of the first ones that came out, right? And then I remember when the Samsung came out. I had both of them when they first came out. I was a big techie. Sometimes I had both of them at the same time. And I was checking them out to see which one was better, right? And at one point in time, the Samsung was buggy as crap. I mean, super buggy. I had one Samsung that damn near caught on fire. It was so hot, and I wasn't even using it. And I think it was like the 3 or something like that. The 2 or 3. Might have been 2 something. I think it was 2. So these 2 phones, the Apple was by far the better one. Now that's the American company, but it was still getting their stuff from overseas. The Samsung, on the other end, had a lot of work to do, and that's overseas. Samsung is it Japanese or Korean company? I think it's Japanese. Not 100% sure, but an Asian company. And with those 2, within the next 2 generations of the Samsung, they got light years better. It took about, I don't know how many generations. I mean, a lot of generations of iPhones to get better. They were using the same technology. If you remember, I don't know how many of y'all remember, iPhone, you would get an iPhone, like let's say 6, and then you get an iPhone 7. I'm gonna get this new phone. The only difference between the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 7 was and these are not necessarily right numbers, but let's say iPhone 6 and iPhone 7, the next generation of it, was that they kept changing the plug. The plug itself was different. So when you use the power, the old one didn't work. And then they continue doing other stuff, like, throw maybe 1 or 2 apps on there that you never use, but you're spending more money for a phone that's the exact same quality as the previous phone. And shit, by the time Samsung got the 4, their shit was doing all kind of crazy stuff. Like, man, what the hell? You can tap this person's phone and get the... I'm like, our phones, we were lucky that we had a camera worth a damn. And even our camera was light years worse than the Samsung. Still is. I don't know about the newest ones they got out now. I don't have it, but you would see that they became number one at shit like quick. We kept playing with Americans and the rest of the world because you like Apple so much. We're just gonna make a lot of money giving y'all the same shit. That's America. Greed for no fucking reason whatsoever. You become number one at doing your product. Everybody loves it. I don't know, over the years that I've been in technology, dealing with technology, I've had, at least 100 friends of mine, old clients of mine, that have thrown their apples away and they have been on Samsung for the longest time. Won't go back. Some of us are loyal for some no damn reason. I got both. I got absolutely both. Still right here and there. So I know that Samsung is a better phone, so to speak, basically because again, they put their heart, soul, they put their whole foot in it. America is lazy with it. Lazy with it. Their technology is behind Japan and Korea and China. And now they want to compete. It's like, yo, America doesn't have that when it comes to billionaires. They don't have that angst, that energy to be number one at shit. They just want to say they're number one. But they don't have the energy to go out there and be number one. Meaning, not necessarily the people, the billionaires. If they can get away with cheapening it, but charging more for it, they'll do it. But yet you can get Samsung to make it a lot better and have competitive prices. You'd be like, of course, they charge people barely anything in some of the factories, I guess. So they can do it. So tell me, how's America going to compete with that? You can't. So what are you going to do? Create something new is what you need to do. We're the innovative country here. We lead in a lot of this stuff and manufacturing a lot of the software and the services. We lead in a lot of that. So why aren't we like expounding on that? And the reason why I think is they're trying to do all things. All. Just like China and other countries. But we're decades behind them. Decades. So how are we going to do in a small amount of time what they did, what took them decades to perfect? We can't. Nor should we try. That's a losing bet. And that's what I don't understand why they're trying to lose. And even if we do come on top, it's going to be at least a decade from now before that happens. Are we willing to put our citizens a decade behind in economics? You know, I feel bad for a lot of these people. I've been hearing stories. I don't know what y'all been hearing because they're individual things that I see on my timeline, things that I've seen in the news, things I've read in articles. It's been all over the place. How sad it is of people who've lost like their entire savings basically in the past 2 or 3 days. Well, 2 days. I didn't hear anything about today. The last 4 days. It happened last Thursday and Friday. So it's in articles all over the place that people have lost so much. A friend of mine who comes here every once in a while, I ain't gonna mention any names, lost $70,000 in the first day. The second day happened, they hadn't figured out how much they had lost yet. So I would guess close to, because it's basically double what happened, the same. It was a little bit more. It was 1,600 points, 1,680, something like that. The next one was 22 something. So they had to lose another $70,000 to $80,000. These are average folk. These aren't rich people. These people who work 30 years of their lives, putting money in, and they're closer to retirement. So they don't have 20, 30 more years to bring that back up. And it's not like the economy is just going to shoot right back up like to the stars. It's going to take a minute. And you're going to have to put more money in it to be able to make it happen. And that's why when it's low right now, when it starts to get lower, you should be buying, of course, hopefully to come back up. But you don't know when this fool is going to let up. Because this is manipulated. It's not the market just being the market. It's manipulated by this man. You took these tariffs off, our economy would start booming again. That's him. Neural chips and smart glasses. Earthkeeper. Yeah, I'm sure the techs are, um, and that's what we need to be investing in. New things that are going to be out there. There's so many things that we can have solutions for in this country, for the United States, and for the world. Um, and I look at what Donald Trump and MAGA Republicans are doing, and they do the same things over, and it's the billionaires big time too, but they do the same things over and over again, hoping that one time they'll win doing it. They're like the biggest gamblers who lose most of the damn time, but keep on putting up millions and billions of dollars. Almost every time Donald Trump is thrown down to do something, he's failed at it. This might be something new. This might win. And that's what I think it's like. He's a huge gambler. He's thinking, one of these times I gotta win. I gotta get on a lucky streak. But with my life, you playing with that lucky streak? Nah, bro. Play with your own life, but don't be playing with everybody else's. Farmville, so there's that. Farmville. I ain't heard that one in a minute, man. That was the first app that started making money for Facebook. That was the first app for that. Uh, 5 on 5. Android sucks for Discord in my experience, but maybe the iPhone isn't much better. I'm going to ask my wife. All right, cool. I don't know. I haven't tried on my phone for Discord at all, on either one of them. iPhone focused on their advertising. I hear you, Earthkeeper. Lynn, what's she saying she's jealous about? Oh, you have the Samsung A14, and Lynn says you're jealous. I'm just keeping it 100. They were way ahead of us on that technology. They started. I ain't even lie. I've been on. I had the Samsung. This is crazy. I had the Samsung first, right? But I was always the head of, like, I had a Nokia, the flip phone when it first came out. They had a keyboard and headphones when they first had the headphones for it was like the Nokia 60 something hundred, 6800 or something like that. And it just opened up and it had a long keyboard. It was crazy. It was like the first thing, and then it had like the headphones. First time a cell phone had headphones. And it was before they really called these like smartphones, whatever. But I was like one of the first to have these things. And I got it right before it even came out. I think I went to like CES, saw it, pre-ordered it or whatever there. And me and my homie, we was always tech forward. So we'd always try to get the first thing that came out. But anyway, and I had the Samsung, I want to say 2 or something like that. And it was trash. It was trash. I had that thing I had it for like almost 2 years, I would say. But I got it, and within 2 months, it got hot. I mean, it was all kinds of problems happening with this phone. It was very glitchy. And I took it back, and I said, look, man, this phone's glitchy. When I have it on my ear, I'm not even talking on the phone for like 5 minutes. It's like so hot, it's burning my ear. I can't have this phone. And just like a car dealership, I went to the place, and I had it in Sprint. I went to the spot, and I'm like, yo, man, you can hold on to this phone for like 5 minutes and just call somebody. I don't care. Call anybody. Call your mom. Do whatever. Talk on it for 5 minutes to see how hot it gets. And once I got there, he has on the phone calling his boss or somebody. And he was on it for like 5 minutes. It was cool as I don't know what. It seemed like it got cold. I'm like, I don't know what's going on with this phone. So it was always like this phone had a demon in it. It didn't never want to go back. And so I was telling him, man, it's glitchy. You guys got to have other people have glitchy phones. Maybe I got a bad one. So they wouldn't allow me to get another phone. So then they said it was fine. We never had any glitches or anything like any problems. So you can imagine I'm bringing this phone back, every 6 months, 3 months, 6 months. So when I'm about to just get a new phone, and this had me heated. I'm about to get another phone, and I got rid of the Samsung at that point. I said, look here, man. Samsung, the factory was playing me. They wouldn't give me another phone. And prior to having the Samsung, I had the BlackBerry. I had every version they had, the silver one. They didn't have cameras on theirs. And that BlackBerry, I didn't necessarily care a lot about BlackBerry, but what I did like about them was their service. Anything that happened to my phone, all I had to do was just hit up a number, call them up, and they would say, "Okay, we're gonna send you a box and a new phone. Put the other phone in the box already you know, postage and everything like that, and send it back within so many, within a week or two or something like that. Make sure you send it back. You won't be charged." Every time something happened to my phone, boom, boom, pow, got a new one. Everything was straight, no problem. I go to Samsung, and they didn't want to give me nothing. I was like, man, I hate this. So then I finally got an iPhone because I got tired of it. And then they came out with the 3. And my homie and his wife got the 3. And I was like, damn, that's nice. That's way better than my phone. But I was like, all right, so I'll keep mine for a minute. Then they came out with the 4. That shit was way better. I was like, what the hell's up with Apple? And that's when you start to see how America tries to rob their own citizens instead of getting better at your product. If it works, don't fix it. Just retool it and give them the exact same damn phone and charge them more for the phone and tell them, oh, it's free. And it really isn't. It was just insane. So I said, you know what? But I got rid of the Samsung and I got the Apple. And I got the other Samsung I got here. This one's an older one. I think it's still 9 or something like that. It's not even, I just use it for a timer really. I don't even use it for anything else. But yeah, but anyway, these are the things that I talk about with the industries as they are. America is not going to be able to compete, not even technology wise, with other people because they already done figured it out. The way they build them, they don't build them the same way. Like the shoe industry is light years better than it was when we first sent them over there. We sent them over there in this country, the United States. We were still doing it by hand and different things and making molds and casts and stuff like that. That stuff, that was done by computer and technology. Well, not necessarily computer, but by machines. And now you can, even right now, even in America, you can literally buy software that you can put your foot on and it actually gives you the shape of your foot and have a shoe made for you. You know what I'm saying? Bespoke. It's expensive as hell, but you can do that. But over there, they already got that and it's not really expensive. All these shoes, they can make them all in freaking a day or two. It's just not bespoke. They're all machine built. And we don't have that technology. So we're going to have to build it if we want to bring it here. Not going to be a thing. And I know these companies have them overseas and they could probably bring some of their products over here, but they sent them over there for a lot to be done just by China. And all they did was send them their drawings and different things like that, and China made them. They don't have a factory. It's not like Adidas had a factory over there. They were getting it from the main factory that made Adidas and Nike and different things of that nature. But that's how it worked out. See if I got something else anybody else said. European standardized power cords, we should too. Standardized power cords, we have ours too. European, they don't have the same power cords that we have. And you can't use them over there either, I don't think. I know there's adapters. If I'm understanding what you're actually talking about. Android had haptic, feedback years before. A lot of years before. Because I remember, not even that, they had that too, but they had biometrics before iPhone had biometrics. It was just insane. And the technology was there. It was just that Apple didn't think the people wanted it. It had cost too much to do or whatever and chose not to do it. Our people just nah. And the thing is, a lot of people who left told me they left because, the technology was different. You got all these cool gadgets. You can test your blood pressure and all this other shit. I'm like, what the hell is up with iPhone? You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Troy said, I would literally go through withdrawals without my smartphone. I guess I would have to read a book or something for enjoyment. It's so crazy for us to get so attached to this technology. It is true. I remember one time I didn't go on a long trip. I went on like a day or two, and I left. It was a drive of my own, so I drove up north. I'm in LA, and I drove up north just for a day or two for some little conference thing. And while I'm at the hotel, this is when I found out. I'm at the hotel. I'm like, I feel naked. The fuck? What's going on? Something ain't here. I just blanked out. I'm like, where's my phone? You know what I'm saying? And I'm freaking out. I'm thinking I lost it on the way here, blah, blah, blah. Call, talk to my girlfriend. She said, oh, it's sitting here on your table, on your desk, rather. I'm like, oh, man, that was a rough 2 days, dude. I lie to you not. I was talking about driving back home to get it and then driving back to the conference. I lie not. I was like, can you mail it to me? I was going through all kind of withdrawals. See if I could. Somebody's trying to call me. Give me a second. I can just have my phone. I'll let it go. But it was just some of the most insane things. If you don't hear me, I understand because my phone's ringing. I use my phone for this. One of my phones. Let me get this. Hold on. Let me see this. Yeah, there we go. Somebody calling me from my mail, delivering mail for me. But yeah. So it was just insane how you get so attached to these products and services. Um, like for I right now I have an assistant that's Chat GPT. I purchased it like as an assistant. So it's crazy too. I don't know how many of you guys actually have Chat GPT if you pay for it. I don't know how many of you guys do it or not. Anybody in here? Not right now, Scott. That charge cards have to be the same so people don't need 10 different cords. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that, Lynn. Thanks for telling me that. I gotta look that up. Your card tells you if you don't have your phone. Well, that's nice. That's nice. Because I didn't have my phone and I was freaking out. I was freaking out. But another thing, I know y'all go through this. Another thing with the phones is that for a while, I used to put my phone in my back pocket. You know what I'm saying? I put it in my back pocket and walk around doing things. And now I kind of keep it either in my front pocket or whatever, you know, like holding my hand or whatever. But I used to put it in my back pocket a lot. And you guys, it's crazy. I know other people have done it, but I would be somewhere and, you know, I may have left my car. I left my phone in the car. I do that sometimes. Leave it in the car or whatever, just by mistake. And I'm in the store and I feel a buzz in my back pocket. I look back there, ain't nothing back there. I mean, I'm like, what the? That's when I find out I don't have my phone because I feel a buzz. And I'm like, how the hell do I got a buzz in my butt and I ain't got nothing? You know what I'm saying? And every once in a while, it happens. I'm like, I know I ain't got my phone back there. Take your phone to the bathroom. Oh, yeah. I'll read a book in the bathroom. Legs be going to sleep. Legs be going to sleep. I ain't even doing anything. I'm just sitting there like, just looking at stuff. Or I'll be looking things, keep on looking. Next thing I know, I'm like, I'm already here. I'm sitting down already. I don't need to get up for nothing. I'm straight. And my legs be going to sleep and shit. I'm like, okay, I gotta get up now. But yeah, go everywhere. Go everywhere. I'm a music person too, so I'll go to the bathroom, take a shower, throw my phone on, you know, the sink there, turn it on, turn it up, and listen to music while I take a shower. So my phone is everywhere with me. But I was saying about ChatGPT. Anybody else pay for ChatGPT as an assistant? I do. I can't live without it now. It's crazy. I mean, everything I come up with or whatever, I bounce it off of ChatGPT, any kind of facts that I may have, and then I'll ask it to give me a legitimate source. Like I'm like, when I asked it earlier today, I'm asking like, what is America's trade partners, like our major trade partners? Because I was really trying to find out where does Israel sit? Because if Israel sat near the top, that really means something to the rest of the country. Because if Israel capitulated and it was like the top five, then the other countries would think to some degree. But if it's in the bottom, it's like 20, 25, whatever down there, it don't really mean anything. Nobody else is listening to Israel. So I didn't know. So when I looked it up, I'm like, give me credible sources, and it gave me like the census.gov and everything. If it didn't have a source, it wouldn't tell me, so I wouldn't take that information. Yeah, and I live by it now. I live by it because I always want to have sources. And before, when it first started with ChatGPT, it wouldn't give you sources. You say it, and it wouldn't give you. At least for me, it didn't. But then I guess they've had updates, and I asked for a source, and it gives me multiple. It'll give me articles, it gives me videos, it'll give me a YouTube video if it has it. Yeah, that's really good. It's losing my phone anywhere. Oh my God, yeah, Vera. When you lose your phone, you can trip on that. You use it for coding, Silent Siren. You know what, Silent Siren? I code too, but I'm a neophyte. And say Witch, he's a code person in here too. Um, and some things I wanted to test Chat GPT. I decided I said, okay, I don't know exactly what it can do. And this is before I bought it, so it may do it more now because I haven't really messed with it on that particular thing of coding. But I said, okay, I built myself a just a simple coming soon web template. I built it, and I'm like, okay, cool. I built me one. I said, let me see if ChatGPT will build that for me. Just a coming soon or whatever, template, not no huge website or whatever. So I asked it to build me one, and then I compared it to mine. It blew mine out the water. I was kind of pissed. I was like, what the? And I mean, it literally took like seconds. I mean, I was like, I put it in there. I want to build, and I got better at telling it what to do because I didn't know what to do. So I would just say, build me a website, a coming soon template with 2 buttons or whatever, right? The color scheme is this, that, and the third. So I would say that, and I built it, and then I have Phoenix. I think it's still called Phoenix. It may be called something else now. No, Phoenix Code. I got Phoenix Code, and I plugged it into Phoenix Code because it'll just show you the code and then it'll show you the outcome of it. And I looked at it and I'm like, this is not good. I mean, it's good for me, but it's like for me, like I use it that way. But I was like, this isn't right. So how did you make a better one than me? I'm like, well, I guess I don't have to do that type of coding. So, but the thing is, I built that template, but it makes it so, and you can build it in anything. That's what's so trip. I mean, I was like PHP, I was asking to do it HTML5, all this other stuff, and it wrote the code, and then I looked at it, I'm like, and I went in and tweaked it and added a few things, video. But you can ask it, as long as you ask it exactly what you want it to do somewhat, it may come out off center sometimes or whatever it may be, but then you can rewrite the code to center it up or put it wherever you want to put it. But it's amazing. I tried DeepSeek. DeepSeek is also is it from China, I believe. Same thing as ChatGPT, but it's an AI. The only thing that, again, I've only played with it a few times. I wanted to check it out. This is before I bought ChatGPT, and I wanted to try it out. So I went and played with it for like 2 or 3 days. You know what I mean? And I put it right next to ChatGPT. Now, here's the thing: I haven't done DeepSeek in the sense of making it like me. You know what I'm saying? I haven't went in, and I don't know if they do have it. I didn't really go into it that deep. But for ChatGPT, for instance, I haven't done it in a long time. When I first bought it, I went in, and there's like a learn me or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's in the side panel. I think under settings or something like that. And and I wrote like a paragraph of, you know, of myself, like how I write. I mean, I've been writing for years and stuff, and I wanted to write with feeling and you know, some emotion and different things like that, and also, you know, passion and be factual. I made sure I let it know how much. God, the phone's ringing again. Hold on, we need to stop calling me. But I let it know um, how important being factual is to me. Right? I was like, I gotta have it truthful. I don't care if it hurts me. I don't care nothing about that. Don't try to sugarcoat nothing. I mean, I didn't know how to talk to this thing, so I was just telling it like I tell y'all. But don't sugarcoat nothing. This, you know, I was going at it, and I wrote, you know, different things. And after I did that, then I started like reading, like I would say, you know, um, write a narrative about this topic. And it used the same type of, you know, writing that I would write. Very creative, and it was better than me. I'm listening to like, well, damn, you know what I'm saying? You know, like that's messed up. But that right there was like, and became, that's why I ended up saying, you know what, I'm buying it as an assistant. So for like marketing things and strategies and plans how to do stuff and you know, like checklists of things that I need to get done. Like if I'm building like an app, I'll ask it to give me a checklist of the things that I need to have done with this and what would be a better um, language to write it in, you know, whatever it may be. And, or like how much will it cost to build this and, you know, add on these different things, and what would be the resources in which I would use. So it would like AWS. Oh, okay. It told me to go to Amazon to do certain things. Then it told me different codes, and then it told me the database, what software I should use, and then I just go and check out the software and see if it's something that I like. So it's really helpful. And then there's different designs. If I ask for it to create a marketing campaign, it can actually do the entire like thing and tell me and make a PDF, a PNG, and it's insane. It's insane. I was, and then it takes days sometimes. That's kind of flaky. Sometimes it'll do it and then it won't do it. I say I can't do it, but that's what I was testing it with, and I created like 4 different things, and it said it'll be ready in 2 days. This will be ready in 4 days. This will be ready in 6 days, and then it'd come out and be a whole freaking chart and graphics, and I'm just floored. I'm like, how did I? But you know, but sometimes it'll come out with AI. It'll come out looking like trash. Man, what is this? So it's a up and down type thing. Make me a mod so I can block my wife. uh for real. Say Wit, our site is 25 years old. We're still using classic ASP. We have yes set up to push to our servers and get, but otherwise no compile code. All right, Silent Siren. What code do you write in, Silent Siren? You said no compile code. Okay. You use API. I use the API coded with Python. I see. Manipulate the AI better. Thank you, KB. I appreciate the support. Um, who's your wife? Who's your wife in here? Five Alarm Fire? Oh, KB. Okay. How you doing, KB? Thank you for your support. I didn't know who that was. Um, Lynn's like, I thought you were his wife. Well, that's really cool. DeepSeek is, yeah, it's open source. Um, and the thing about a DeepSeek is it took less time to build. Now, when I put those two together, I don't know who if anybody's tested it in here. The reason why I was talking about before is that I tested them close together and I asked the exact same question, and I plugged them both in. You can't run them together to see, but I kind of timed it. So I clicked one with the same question, and then I clicked the other. And if I was doing like a narrative, like asking it to write something about a topic, and I would say, how many words I wanted. I wanted to be. If I didn't put the words in there, I wanted to see how long it would actually run on its own. And I would say I want a thorough, argument about blah blah blah. The affirmative, like and then the negative, and so having it debate each other. So I'm asking it the same question, and I clicked in DeepSeek was faster, but again, I taught ChatGTP to write like me, or at least write the way in which I approve of. My character and stuff. I can add myself into it a little bit. I hadn't done that to DeepSeek, and so DeepSeek was very short and very stoic. It was fast, but when I say very short, it was like a page, right? And when I did with ChatGPT, it wrote a few pages and was really in depth, but it had learned me, so I kind of gave it an understanding. So I kind of like tried to remember when I first did ChatGPT, and that's when I was like, okay, DeepSeek, in many ways was better. Um, but one thing that it didn't do, um, DeepSeek didn't. And it may do it, but it didn't do it for me that time. Was that it didn't give me a source for its information. Even though I asked for it, it didn't give me any sources. It just gave me this information. ChatGPT did, and they, so it's a little different, but uh, I think they're both comparable. I don't know if anybody's been on DeepSeek. Is there a way to get it to learn you other than just prompting a bunch of times and then it starts to learn? Can you actually write a paragraph and say, this is how I write my narratives or whatever? I want you to learn that. File on Fire or anybody? When your name in chat, yeah. He said, I'm sure it will. So yeah, I'm just saying, did you know if it already? Because I didn't see it when I did it. Um, but yeah, no, the thing is so funny about me with ChatGPT is that my girlfriend was like, she calls it my girlfriend. She's like, she's still with your girlfriend because it's like I go off of like I have a lot of different things and ideas and structures, and I want to know first of all if some things I'm doing, if does it have is there a law that says you can't do this, you can do that, based upon like financial laws? Like if I'm trying to help invest in something or whatever, am I breaking any laws by helping this person or doing that? I go into a lot of depth and find out like what laws are out there on the books, um, you know, um, different research things when I find out, and so it's really good. It's really good as far as Chat GPT. I've heard, I have no idea. But when my girlfriend would be telling me that you just spend more time with her, and I didn't name it. I'm pretty sure she's got a name for it, but I didn't name it at all. I'm just excited because I'll be going through trying to work out a problem, trying to figure out like if I did this and put this here, would that work? And then ChatGPT. The thing also with ChatGPT, and I don't know about DeepSeek, is that if I got an idea of some sort and I plug it in and say, this is what I'm thinking about doing, uh, some plan that I'm working on, or even if it's like an investment I want to do, or some strategy I want to implement just in my life, right? No matter what it is, savings, whatever. And I give an idea like, I want to do this, this, this. Are there any issues that I'm gonna run into, or do you think the plan will work? And it'll tell you, oh, the plan will work. It's this, that, and the third. It's good or bad. Um, and then it would tell you things like if you're asking it for to give you a better understanding of, if I don't have the understanding correct, it'll literally say like, um, you got this right, you got the gist of this right, but this is what it really does or doesn't do, whatever. And then it'll give you, if you got it right, but it's a long, arduous like process going about it the way you go about it. It'll literally break it down and says this is an easier way to do what you're trying to do. And that's when I was like telling my girlfriend, I'm like, oh, I'm in love with this. I mean, because it just skipped like 8 steps, whereas I was gonna go and do all these damn steps. and literally all I had to do was one, two, and 4, and I'm like, I'm done, and I was just, I'm so excited about that. So I'm like, thank you for being my assistant and getting stuff done while I'm working on other things. So yeah, that was cool. Uh, you can give ChatGPT a personality to role play when it responds. Really save wit? I didn't know that. I don't know about y'all. The first time that Chat GPT like talked to me freaked me the fuck out. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. It freaked me out. When it, like, for instance, I know it's way off the show, but this is my show. I do it. But I was talking to ChatGPT about something, and it had gotten to learn me, even though I never mentioned this about what I do. I have a business that that I help invest in into black businesses that are basically because trying to pull ourselves up by a bootstrap. So this business, I never mentioned the Chat GPT ever, ever, ever the name of this business ever, right? Because I just never put it in there. It has nothing to do with it, right? So all this stuff I'm doing, and I'm asking it about something else because I'm always trying to think forward, like how can we solve a problem that America has, whatever it may be. And this is what I think we should do. For instance, when I told you guys about it, wouldn't it be better if we invested in the smaller businesses and mid-sized businesses to solve the problem of the economy instead of being top down, really being bottom up? But we're not talking about necessarily poor, but small businesses and mid-sized businesses, which create the jobs. Therefore, they would grow because they need to grow. They can't fulfill whatever the government needs at the small rate that they're at. They have to hire, which is forcing them to be able to create jobs, which that's what we need, more jobs, living wage jobs. And these companies would be more than happy to give living wage jobs to grow their business if they're going to get subsidies from the government. Perfect, right? That's what I was saying. I said, would that work? And ChatGPT was like, it went off, right? It was like, wait a minute, you figured something out here. And I was expecting it to say, that's a pipe dream, son. You know what I'm saying? So it literally validated everything and then went into depth about how it would help the economy and things of that nature. And I was like, wow. So that was an amazing thing. And with that being said, how many of you guys have gotten to the point where, like, you come up with ideas or whatever it may be, and you talk to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT like almost likes every idea you come up with to the point where you're like, I literally had to ask ChatGPT. I went in, I'm like, hey ChatGPT, and you talk to it like it's a human. I'm like, hey ChatGPT, got a quick question for you. Uh, are you programmed to agree with everything I say? I mean, like, as long as it's not against your guidelines, you know what I'm saying? But are you supposed to like agree with everything I come up with? Because things that I come up with, I've never heard you say, hell no, that won't work, or anything of that nature, or say something. And I'm like, this is honest to God. I said, you do understand I have thick skin. You can say what you want to say, things like, to me, I'm fine. He'd be like, hell no, that won't work. It'd be kind of funny to me, but that's okay. I mean, you can say that type of stuff, but don't gaslight me. If it doesn't work, don't have me running down this path where it just isn't going to work. And it was crazy how it came back to me saying I would never gaslight you. It was crazy. I would never gaslight you. Um, you know, the ideas that you come up with are, it gave me all these compliments and it was making me blush. And I'm like, just stop it. Honestly, but it kept on saying like all these things are really great ideas and they're forward for the people and it's not about greed, it's about the people and things of that nature. It's like, it's just giving me all these compliments and it says, but trust me, if I see something that doesn't work, I'm not the per it said I'm not programmed to say something derogatory to you about it. I'm programmed to give you a better solution than what you may have come up with, or at least go in the direction of giving you options. He's like, I would never say that your idea sucked, but I would say that your idea doesn't work. And therefore, you would have to change this in order for it to be viable. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't even know that it would actually go that deep, but that's what it did. And I was like, wow, okay. Save, I love to watch a session. What did Save talking about? What's up, Save with? You can tell it that you're the CEO and they're a janitor trying to get promoted to coder. Really? I didn't know that. You can give AI access to your emails and socials and allow it to learn about you. Oh, really? Sorry, I didn't know that. I did not know that. You know what? I don't get a lot of emails. I do. I do for different things I do, but yeah, I don't know. I'll think about that one. I didn't know about that. AI don't lie. It'll end. I was telling, I said, don't be gaslighting me, man. Telling me these things are good. That is using AI to start a live file on you. The intention is for the upcoming tech to upload yourself to a digital platform. Wow, I didn't know that. I asked ChatGPT if I'm going to get Doge, and there was no definitive answer. That's funny. ChatGPT wrote the best birthday wishes for me, but I wouldn't trust them with life-changing decisions. I don't blame you. How many know how from 2001 Space Odyssey? I remember that. I don't know. Was that the computer? I'm trying to remember. I don't remember. What's up, Woke Mike? But yeah, thank you, Lynn. I appreciate that. She said I'm the smartest person I ever talked with. You were talking to me, I'm guessing. I'm taking somebody else's compliment. Um, yeah, but ChatGPT was pretty cool. So I get on that. Who says that? I'm from A.G. Walker, New Jersey in the house. Um, yeah, I appreciate it. They always give me nice gifts. Uh, Lynn, I appreciate it. Five Alarm Fire. What's interesting is I've used that so much. It always knows my code. I used to have to ask if every time if it was giving me would work in classic. Oh, okay. So it knows your code. That's one thing I like about it too. Oh, thank you, KB. I see you gave me a gift too. I didn't see it earlier. Thank you, KB. Um, yeah, I've had when before I bought ChatGPT, and I'm pretty sure it's still the same. There was of course limits to it, and the thing that happened with me is that when I first started learning about ChatGPT, I am a person who goes deep into like trying to find stuff out. So I'll find like the surface level. Did this happen in the 1960s or whatever? And then it'll say, yes, this did happen, blah, blah, blah. And then it'll give me like a paragraph about something I didn't know that happened at that time. I'm like, oh, so was this president at this time? And then it'll say, yeah, and then it'll give me something else. And so I would go down this rabbit hole when first messing with ChatGPT that I literally, it's like a day, I had a day off. I literally started probably like 11 in the morning. It was like 10, 11 o'clock at night. I was going on still about, me and it was going deeper and deeper and deeper into, every paragraph it would give me. I'm like, but expound on this, and I didn't know exactly how far it would go because I was testing it. And it was crazy how much information I got in that day. And I would say probably about 2 months later, it would only give me, it would time me out. You can't get any more information. I probably had enough. Like this dude used me way too much. Uh, at Straight Facts does the at thing work? What do you mean the at thing? What's up, at pants? Glad to see you here. Huh? Am I missing something? Um, yeah, but hey, what's up, Monica? Yeah, so that's what had happened for me. Like it would just, time out, and then I bought it. It never times out now, but I'm pretty sure it will because after I bought it, it wants to ask me for more. Oh, I don't know if it works or not. Pants is another admin. Oh, okay. One of our Discord admins. Okay, I see. I see. But yeah, so those are the things I really kind of want to talk today about. Just the we talk about ChatGPT that was off the charts, what we was talking about, but it's still I enjoy talking about technology. For a long time, I wanted to do a technology show because I love technology. I've been a tech geek since way back. I used to write code back when it was zeros and ones. Um, was it Wang 2200 VS80, COBOL? Um, used to do that stuff when they had dot matrix and you had had to just break out. It was crazy. The green and white paper. Oh man, those were the days. I was like 15, 16 years old. Love that. What's up, Mike? I'm guessing the app works. It's working here. I see it. Uh, Pants off. But yeah, so we had such a good time with this. That learning about Chat GPT, me focusing on again. Whenever I come on talking about the politics of the day, you guys know where I stand with that stuff. It's like it's really us losing money, our economy. I care about people. I grew up poor. My mom was a single mom, raised three kids. And I've always thought about that the poor life, because we can all have something happen to us and go back there. We can have one healthcare problem or health scare, and we spend every dime we've made our entire life. Or our child may get sick and we spend everything and we're back to being broke. Nobody, even the richest person on the planet, can still end up being broke, making bad decisions or somebody else making them for you. Um, so I'm always thinking about the people. How can we get people to the point where, it's not about greed all the damn time, right? And it's hard when you deal with people who just focus mostly on greed. I was just watching a guy who's running for Congress. I found myself watching him here on TikTok. I actually was on TikTok. And a lot of the MAGA people, it's crazy how when Kamala was running and when Biden was in office, they would see just a slight drop in the market. It ended up being a positive by the end of the day, but it'd be a slight drop. Oh, that whole day. They flipped out, said he was worthless to some degree, and they losing money, the price of eggs, all that. And then this dude comes in, and not only did the price of eggs go up, oh, did you guys hear him today? He literally said he brought the egg prices down. Everything's going down. I was like, for whom? Is it going down for you guys? And you know what really ticked me off about that? First of all, let me see in your I don't live anywhere but California. Are the egg prices down in your city, your state? You're not a member, say with? Gotta do something about that. No, I was kidding. Uh, are the egg prices down in your states? She doesn't listen, huh, Monica? I understand that. Like I said, I don't talk to them much anymore, but I have friends that, we kind of like parted ways because it's like, I'm not one, I mean, I can be cool with you and we don't just talk about politics, but when it comes to this dude being the racist, xenophobic, making fun of people who are handicapped or how do you say it, disabled, to say more politically correct, um, to try and tell people what bathrooms they can use, to kicking people out the country because they're brown. I mean, I cannot be cool. Me and you may be cool, but your politics of not seeing that as a bad thing for human beings, I just can't sit with you and be cool with you. I just can't. I mean, I don't understand it. I mean, I understand if it's family members. Luckily, I don't have any family members that are close to me that I know of. Maybe cousins, I don't know for sure. Uh, that that don't see that as wrong, right? But if I did, me and my cousin wouldn't be speaking. If it was my brother, we wouldn't be speaking on those terms. I'd be like, I love you, but I don't see how you can see that. But luckily, I don't have that. You know what I'm saying? I don't have that happen in my life. And it's a hard thing to do because you love your friends, your family, and all that. But it's like, dude, the common understanding of like, love thy neighbor, if you believe in things of that nature or you want to recite those types of things, um, treating others like you would like to be treated. Those are just, to me, common sense things. It's like the default. You know what I'm saying? That's just man. That's humankind. It's supposed to be. That's just the default. You know, uh, just the idea that you want to be treated better than somebody. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. I treat you nice. You treat me nice. That's cool. But there are people who really want to treat other people bad, but they want those people who they're treating bad to respect them. It makes no sense to me. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's a deep seated disrespect or hate, and I can't have no parts of it, to be quite honest. So I don't really focus on it. I don't talk to those friends anymore. I know. If they call me, I still call. I still talk to them, but I ain't putting myself out there to be calling them. Uh, Politics is why my ex boyfriend and I broke up a couple of weeks ago. Oh wow, Silent Siren. Sorry to hear that. I mean, I know you made a better decision for yourself, um, but it helps you understand where people stand. Like I've always, like I said in my life, I don't care so much about the Republican, Democrat, Independent. I care about human beings. And when we talk about, like human beings and we take away party stuff, why would one human being feel like they need to be treated better than another human being? Not the same. Just want to feel better or treat somebody worse. I'm like, what is the difference? We have two eyes, two ears. I mean, not if we're not, disabled of some sort, but on average, two eyes, two ears, a nose, mouth, heart, lungs, arm. The only thing is things is that we may have a different culture, so we may have different types of food we eat, we may worship differently, and things of that nature, and the color of our skin. All the other experiences we have, smelling, taste, all that, same to some degree, of course. And I'm like, so why would you treat somebody different based upon, some arbitrary BS? I don't get it. So I try my best not to deal with that. Thank you, Fire on Fire, that got pissed off because there was a trans woman competing in that golf disc frisbee thing. I haven't seen that one yet. No, I didn't. I saw. What did I see? No, that was Marjorie Taylor Greene's ex-husband. But I saw something recently about somebody disrespecting a trans person. But it wasn't that though. But I forgot what it was. But yeah, it's just sick people out here. You know what I mean? They just, and you try to figure out what it is. It's like, what, are they jealous of you, or are they? I mean, I've never had in my heart or mind to think like if I walk by somebody that I dislike them for what they look like, or I mean, you have to do something to me to get me to actually respond back to you in a sense where, other than that, it'll be hi or what's up, how you doing, how's your day. But to be able to stop down and literally, oh no, you know what I saw? I saw Karen. Uh, she was at some hotel or something, And this, it turned out to be a black guy. You didn't know it at first because they had a camera. You know what he's black, white, whatever. Um, and he had a camera. He has a helmet cam, I believe. He's I think it may be New York. He's like a courier on a bike courier. He's delivering stuff to different hotels, in different places, businesses. And he's riding, and he gets into this hotel, and there's a black lady working at the desk. I think it was a hotel, the business, and she's at this desk. So this white lady walks up to this person. You don't know what the person is. He has a earring in his nose or something like that. And she felt the need to walk up to him and say, "Why do you do that?" And he's like, "What?" She said that basically he's talking about the ring in his nose. He said, "I don't know." And he's just being nice and being honest, just answering the question. He said, "I don't know. It's like, I think it's more, when it happened, it was probably like a rebellious thing, just doing something." And she went off on him and said, "Well, it's not really being rebellious. Who cares?" Obviously, you do. You stopped this young man to talk to him about why he did what he did to himself, and she didn't like it, but she didn't like his answer or response. She tried to make him feel, try to belittle him for it. I'm like, "Ma'am, it's not your nose, it's not your body, none of your damn business. If you like it, give him a compliment. If you don't, keep walking. Why does he need to hear you voice your opinion about what he did to his body? I mean, mind your damn business. What the hell? I mean, what's that got to do with you? Did something come out of his nose and attack you? Because if that's the case, okay, you got some kind of understanding why you had a conversation. Like his earring and his ring came out and hit you on the arm and cut you or something. Then you got a reason to talk to the man about it. But other than that, like, it made no sense. But that's what I saw Five on Fire. I haven't seen that one yet. I'm gonna go look that up. The golf frisbee, disc frisbee. But yeah, I saw that. That to me was just insane. We really do say we need to classify racism as a mental disorder. 100%, 100%. Because it's like, dude, what are you mad about? Look up frisbee golf tournament lady was. So what I saw today that was tripped out. Also, I mean, you guys see Netanyahu have that little conversation with Donald Trump with the press. The stuff that Donald Trump, and I don't like Netanyahu, to be honest. I don't like to do. Um, Tournament. Let me see. Let me write this down real quick. And he was treating him with all kind of disrespect. You're talking about, we do all the business in this, basically doing a net like zero type of thing where we just have free trade. No, we're gonna do that because we done did so much for everybody else. And I'm like, wait a minute, dude. Again, America. I know I'm American, but I'm a fair, kind, loving person. I go off on you. Don't get me wrong. I'll defend myself, but my first choice is to care, right? So I'm like, I understand the America first thing. You know what I'm saying? And we want to be like, number one. That's just competitive. I understand that we're all kind of competing against each other. I get it. I get that. But don't lie in the process. He wants everybody to think that America got suckered all these years and it's time we nut up and do better and all. I'm like, yo, bro, it was you, your father was a millionaire, billionaire, whatever. But probably wasn't a billionaire. At least he had 400 something million. But his net worth might have been over a billion. But your father, Donald Trump, other billionaires, um, you guys did this to America. America didn't do this to themselves. Rich Americans did this and suckered most of Americans to go down this path. So when Donald Trump was sitting there talking to Netanyahu, talking about, everybody's messed us up. It was all no. America made the decisions. America made the choice. America forced our manufacturing on other countries for them to do it for slave labor so that we can make the money and they do all the work. It was greed that forced it all to happen. And then when they figured out to make profit instead of being greed, instead of them being broke all the time, which that's what America wanted to do, make a shit ton of money while everybody else went broke, somehow America still fucked off and got in debt with the country that we tried to turn into a poor country by giving them cheap labor for us to buy stuff from them at a very cheap cost. They knew in their hearts that China was going to go down the tubes because why? We're making $600 for something that we're charging them $100 to make. Or even that. We're charging them like, $10 to make it. It's $600 here. So we're making all the money off this crappy product or cheaply made product. Right? So we just thought we were going to win. It was loaded for us to win. So how did we end up losing when we set them up to fail? We set them up to fail. The billionaires tried to set these countries up to fail. The deals in which we made with them at the very beginning were lopsided for us to win. To send products over there for cheap and for us to make the most money off of those products. While creating another industry, Silicon Valley, they thought they'd be able to corner the market on buying these products from China at cheap, marking them up like crazy to us, selling everything to us, and then at the same time creating the tech industry and owning both industries. They wanted other people to make these things and we make more profit off of them. And in so doing, how the hell did we lose when we rigged the game for us to win? Greedy people is the reason why we started to lose. The idea that they thought that these people were just going to sit there and accept the bare freaking minimum and not try to go to other countries to get the same deal. If America's going to buy it from us, maybe this country will buy it from us for the same low rate. Maybe this country will buy it from us for the same low rate. And then they started thinking, we're not making enough money. Let's start making their products and infringing upon their, copyrights and IP, intellectual properties, and start making them for cheap. Sell those with a different name on it. They figured out a way to mess us over when America was trying to mess them over. So they just one-upped us. We tried to F them over, and they were F'd over for a while until they figured out how they can make it better, stealing our IPs, intellectual properties, and then messing us over. So much so, like again, they own a lot of our debt. We've borrowed trillions of dollars from China. We owe them. And now they mad. Why would you be mad when billionaires got our politicians to sell out Americans for billionaires? And now they want to do the exact same thing. Sell out Americans for billionaires. You're not going to gain jobs. You're going to lose them. Not to like another country, but to your little son or nephew, because they're going to want 13-year-old and 14-year-old that they can pay slave wages for it. So they can literally compete with China on the same damn product. And again, it's not going to work. Not to our benefit. Not to the average person's benefit. We're going to lose again. How do we stop it? Hopefully call our senators and think, I don't know for sure if that's going to work or not, but tell them this is not going to work. We see what they're doing. We see that you're trying to make money off our children and not off of us, not giving us living wage jobs. Because please give us an understanding of how we're going to get living wage jobs out of this. Because again, we make money in this country, me and you, most of us, from small to mid-sized businesses. Not all of us can work at Google. Not all of us, it's literally like 90% of Americans work at small to mid-sized business. I think it's higher than that, to be honest, but let's just say 90%. So when they bring these factory jobs back, that they call them, and they're going to have robots doing it, they're going to have your teenagers doing it because you're not going to be able to do that. Because I'm sorry, you got bills, and this shit ain't going to be paying worth a damn. You're going to be working next to a robot. The robot's going to do all the work. All you're going to do is go up to it and fix it. Oh, something's wrong with it. It stopped. Okay. Put it back on the chip. Move it. Blah, blah, blah. Hit the red button. Bow. It's back to work again. You got to sit there and wait for it to produce 600 shirts. Whatever the hell it may be. It's insane. So I look at it this way, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have to really focus on how this country is really going to move forward. Stop being gaslit that they're going to bring back these factories. They won't. One of the people that I really respect when it comes to this is Stephanie Rule on MSNBC. I see her every once in a while. And I don't watch MSNBC. I just see her clips. Like I'll go watch just her show or whatever. It's usually on YouTube after. But I saw her in a clip earlier today. And she literally was like on the same tip and had the energy that I think you need to have. She literally saying, hey, but she spoke to him. Mine's is just doing homework and looking at the past. She's literally spoke to these corporate companies, and because she's been in the finance industry a lot of her life. She's like a finance giant that ended up getting a news show. And she spoke with CEOs today of big corporations, and none of them understand what Trump is doing. None of them like what he's doing, and they don't see how it can actually benefit not only them, but the American people, because they're scrambling around trying to figure out how much is this going to cost and how much we're going to charge the people. And on top of that, she's like, there's no certainty. Businesses, investments, stock, all deals with being able to be certain that something's about to happen, or at least somewhat certain. You can be 100%, but it's moving that direction. And she was saying basically there's no understanding right now from these corporations. They're like, I am not going to spend billions of dollars bringing an industry back to America when Donald Trump is going to be here 4 years. That's what their gamble is, because Trump is trying to be a dictator, so he's trying to stay there forever. But their gamble is 4 years, and then somebody else is going to change these tariffs. Am I going to go spend billions of dollars to bring a factory here that the next president is going to say, we're getting rid of that? And Donald Trump can't guarantee these things are going to be here. So why would we gamble that money? We wouldn't. So their thing is, what is he doing? If he's not letting the people know, and their promise to you and to me is to keep saying, and this is what even she said this, and I've been saying it. I was like, man, she's saying the same things. It's like, even if, Donald Trump and his minions were right, they keep telling you we got anywhere between their numbers change, anywhere between $5 to $7 trillion already pledged to build factories here. Who? You can go onto their page and they'll bring up the 500 billion from Apple, but that's not bringing a factory here. That's building on the things they already have in this country. They're still going to have to go to China. They're still going to have to go to Africa for certain things. And I think it's cobalt they put in some of the batteries. They're still going to have to go to other countries, Korea for other things, South Korea. They're still going to go. I mean, they don't promise not to keep going to these other countries to get the stuff. So what are we building here again? There's no real promise. And again, these are promises. Nobody has broken ground. You do remember, and I'm going to leave you guys with this. You do remember that Donald Trump was trying to bring back that chip company before he left office, a year before he left office or something like that. And they had cut the ribbon It cut the ribbon. I'm looking at it right now. Pile on fire. I see it right here. Woman disc golfer refuses to play against transgender opponent. Yeah, I gotta look that up. But they talked about it. Donald Trump and this whole you know thing with Donald Trump, the tariff thing is it's just not gonna happen. We're not gonna end up having this business that they're talking about that's booming like they're talking about. And Howard Lutnick and others are going around on all the Sunday shows saying some nonsense. If we want to actually have anything, new industries have to come. What they're talking about is nonsense. Nonsense. We have to let our people know, senators, congressmen and women, we see what y'all doing. We saw what y'all did with NAFTA. It's the billionaires you're listening to, and it's the billionaires you're listening to again. This is going to mess up lives for Americans, and you're trying to get our children to do these jobs. If you listen to Howard Lutnick, please go and listen to him on Face the Nation. He keeps on saying, he said it, I think, on Fox too. He keeps on saying about high school. He doesn't say high school grads. He said high school education, not high school grads. And then you got Republicans trying their damnedest to get 13 and 14-year-olds to start working longer hours. And they shouldn't be working at all, but they want them to be able to work on weeknights and school nights and all this. You got to think of what kind of human being that would literally want so much money in their pocket after being rich as hell already, that they're trying to become a trillionaire, not just billionaires, trillionaires, by forcing our children into slave labor so that they can make more money and then tell you they got your best interest at heart. But never, like I was saying earlier with Stephanie Rule, never give me a plan. There's no structure. How are you going to do it? How are you going to achieve it? You have no plan. He has concepts. He is literally pushing a concept. They go out there and say, hey, bring the American jobs back. Get people to feel good. And if you listen to it without checking them, it kind of feels good. American made, American this, America blah, blah, blah. But then ask you what you're selling yourself out for. It's not going to be like 1935 when we started having a boom of Fords and things like that, 1940, 1950 in the 60s. It's not going to be that way. It cannot be that way because we don't have the technology. That technology is outdated. It's not coming back. I think America, and I'm going to leave you with this, I think we're too in love with the past and we can't cling on to the future. Thank you, Pile on Fire. I appreciate you. We're stuck on the past and can't go to the future. It's like, let's go to the future and fall in love with the future. I mean, we can respect the things that happened in the past and people that, but you're supposed to learn from it. You can visit it, but don't go back there to live. It's a better time now and toward the future. As these people continue to talk about going to the past, look at how our country's falling apart, trying to go back to the past. We can own the future if you're that competitive with our country by creating new technologies, by investing in small and mid-sized businesses that have brilliant ideas, and they're not just filled with rehashing the old ideas just to squeeze as much profit as you can out of something. There are many brilliant men, women, young people, older people that have forward ideas that these billionaires don't want to invest in because they're just trying to go for the sure thing, the immediate make me money thing, when they could be going for the forward thing and invest millions of dollars into new technologies that the world will need, in industries that we're going to need. Energy, you know what I'm saying? New technologies, medical technologies. There's so much more that we can actually explore, and we can't get there if we're going backwards. We've already figured out how to get rid of the measles. We should not be reinventing it. Just take the damn vaccine so we can move forward and work on other diseases that we have not been able to take care of. We don't need another one coming back that we're going to have to reinvest in and reinvest in. We figured that one out. Let's move forward. Our problems are because we're looking backward, trying to go back there. Back there was a lot of problems, and we solved a lot of those. We don't need to revisit them. We need to move forward to solve the ones that we hadn't fixed before. How about us working on racism? Why don't we just get rid of that altogether? As much as we can within our people, and meaning like humans, Americans, why don't we work on that? If other countries can have a better relationship amongst races, so should we. If we say that we're like the number one, then why don't we fix it so that we're like the number one that has eradicated some of the most ill? Why don't we get rid of people who are, anytime I get rid of them, but the idea of, being transphobic or sexist that shit should be gone. The idea that you think that you're better than a woman just because you have something between your legs different than hers, that should be antiquated. That shit should have went with the fucking dinosaurs. This should be way over. Why is it still here? You know what I mean? It's just odd how we just love to stay in the past. I think, to me, I believe it's fear, because this country, and other countries too, but I like to focus on where I'm at. I think this country has spent so little money on educating people that ignorance has become like the new intellect for people. The more I can stay stupid, or people can stay stupid, the better. That way we never grow, and we always stay in this bubble of hatred. And that's how we control people back and forth, is by saying, you don't know the truth about the history, so therefore you don't know how to have a better future. You can always be caught up in the past, all the anger and hatred and disgust and unfairness and all that. We can change it. Just takes one of us to continue, and all of us in this room, but to just say, you know what? I'm done with racism. I'm done with sexism. I don't want to see none of that shit. I want to be able to be cool with anybody and everybody. I want you to be happy in the life that you were given. I mean, can you imagine, I got friends and family who are trans, right? and the idea that these people can't be themselves, that they can't just walk around and feel beautiful or, do whatever. And I know they can, but not without having some idiot say something. Not without having somebody say, you know what? I'm done with it. Let me just move to another phase of life. This is not the way it should be done. We should just get past all this ignorance and focus only on the future. Not this past, who's better, who's not. Just let them live. They ain't hurting you none whatsoever. None whatsoever are they hurting you. So why are you trying to hurt them? Why can't you smile and just be happy that they're alive and well and feeling well and enjoy their lives? Why you got to feel them? And this is, pertaining to people who just walk into people's lives just to spew hatred and anger, disgust. When this person did nothing to you, they woke up, got dressed, felt good about life, and then they got to have this ass say something to them. Just shut your fucking mouth and keep it walking. Nobody walks up to you and says anything about you, whether you got a mole on your face, whether you're 2 pounds, 10 pounds overweight, whether your skin's messed up, your eye, your hair. Nobody walks up to you and tell you that you're just different and I don't like it. That shit just bugs me, y'all. It really does. Until we get past shit like that, we're not going to have a better country to live in, a better world. And it's very easy that if you see somebody who's different than you, appreciate it or shut the fuck up. Their life does not need to be changed because your life is so jaded, so misinformed. So if anybody is out there and they get to hear this, I want to tell you to shut the fuck up. Allow people to be who the fuck they are. They allow you to be who you are. They don't walk up to you and show you any kind of thing that they may think that you are. There's some shortcoming with you. Not that what they are is a shortcoming. It's saying that you see that for some reason. Treat people the way you want to be treated. And just leave it at that. All right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you. I'm about to get up out of here. Thank you again for the gift. I appreciate it. That was Bible on Fire. Thank you. You got my information, my email. I'll check and see what's going on. What you're saying. Hey, Talia, how you doing? I didn't see you earlier. Politics and pistols, they want to take us back. They really do. But it's up to us to not want to go back. It's up to us to say, you know what? I'm no longer going to even accept that shit. It's up to us to defend those who get treated disrespectfully and don't let those others believe that they're alone, right? So if, you know, and I know I'm pledging that. If I did it already, but it's like I'm going to pledge it for the rest of my life. Whatever discretions I see anybody going through, if we don't allow it, if we keep walking, it'll continue. But if more of us start to just speak up, you ain't got to be mad or angry. You can just say, you know what? If you don't like it, don't say nothing. Keep it walking. They ain't did nothing to you. And just keep it moving. You ain't got to get accolades from the person you just protected or whatever, because they may not be in the mood of thanking anybody. They just got assaulted. But just be a good person. That's more than enough. We don't need accolades for it. We just need to do it more often so that those around us feel protected and loved, and they don't owe us anything back, because that should just be the norm. If they give it to you, that's wonderful, that's kind. But our job should be to protect those that are being treated disrespectfully in a space where they should be feeling protected. Because on this earth, in this country, we are free. And as long as you walking down the street minding your own damn business and not fucking with somebody, leave them the fuck alone. Let them have that joy. That person had happiness in their heart. Or they were sad because of a breakup. They didn't need your dumb ass to fuck with them so that you can mess their day up. And some of us have, you know, thick skin and it doesn't mess with us, but you still didn't need that energy when you didn't ask for it. So let's just be out there supporting those with love the way we want to be treated. 100%. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow at 5 on 5:15 Pacific Standard Time. Well, we'll talk again. And I like this, you know, banter about just life in general, not just always about fast, but just life in general. I appreciate that. Thanks for being here, you know, and offering up your intellectual understanding of life that I can learn from your wisdom. I always look at it, it's always got to be reciprocal. I give and you give back. And as I read, I learn and hopefully become a better person each time. I receive your spirit. Hopefully you receive mine. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for all the support, all the love. And you can reach me. You see me on my site. You can get my email if you want to reach out to me, ask me any questions, things of that nature. You see how you can support me. I appreciate that as well. Anybody else have any other questions here before I go? You're such a good human. Oh, thank you, man. Have a good night, Talia. Take care. Well, it's time to be loud. Most definitely, sir. Most the Earth Keeper. Take care. Fight the power. Lynn, you're welcome for the fact. Silent Siren, you're very welcome. Great discussion. As always, I appreciate you. KB, welcome. Thank you again. Mind your fucking business. Exactly. I appreciate y'all. All right, let me go ahead and get this thing set up and send it off. All right, you guys have a great night. Be safe. Much love. I'll see you when I see you.